What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be discussing two supposedly dead blockchains. Yes, we're talking about Polkadot and Cardano. Now, before we go too much further, that is simply the talk of some of the trolls out there. I myself am personally very bullish on both these projects, and we just got some phenomenal news and updates on the chart that keep me bullish on them. The big question, though, is what do you think in the comments? Make sure you comment throughout the video what your thoughts are. Are you still bullish on these projects? Are you open-minded, or have you closed the book? Is there no more future for them? Let me know down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new, hit subscribe to the channel to get all of the information that you need to invest in crypto to change your life and your family's life, create that generational wealth you've been looking for. But first, we got to roll our intro. All right, let's start off with a little bit of news here. What's happening in these two ecosystems that's making a lot of the communities bullish, making myself bullish, and I think several of you guys bullish? There is a conversation going on that's been going on for a while about a Polkadot Cardano bridge development, and it's been sparking community excitement. Let's get into the details of what is happening here in this article. Now, Felix, an agent from Unifier's ecosystem, shared on the Polkadot forum that the efforts are underway to develop a Cardano Polkadot Lite client and NFT swap bridge. He mentioned that the proposal has already been submitted to Cardano, and there are plans to submit a similar one to Polkadot's decentralized governance body, OpenGov. Now, before I go too much further here, I want to make sure you guys understand this is actually something that's been in the works for a while, a partnership between Cardano and Polkadot. You have two of the greatest minds in cryptocurrency blockchain information, the founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, and the founder of Polkadot, Gavin Woods. They also have a relationship, as both of them were key founders on the Ethereum ecosystem, along with Vitalik Buterin. So these are guys that are old friends. They've worked together in the past, and they both have similar goals. Actually, the reasons they left Ethereum were very similar because they both believe there's a better way and there's more priorities out there that Ethereum wasn't necessarily solving for. Therefore, we have the creation of Cardano and Polkadot, two coins that, despite a lot of negativity from the masses in the crypto space, both remain top 20 projects. Cardano remains a top 10 project at the moment. So whether you think these are ghost chains or not, they still are continuing to have massive communities and stay relevant in the space. And information like what we're reading in this article is going to keep them there. But let's keep going on just a little bit further in this article. For anyone who doesn't know about bridges, blockchain bridges allow users to transfer assets between networks, addressing the interoperability challenges associated with the broader crypto industry. In other words, right now, if you have something built on Ethereum, but you want to operate with something else that's built on, let's just say Cardano, or let's say Solana, there's not a natural way for those to work together. That's one of the big purposes of Polkadot, is to work with the interoperability so that in the entire ecosystem of cryptocurrency, you don't have all these different worlds individually. You can actually combine them with links between them. That's one of the main purposes of Polkadot. It's one of the reasons why I'm still bullish, and we're seeing all of that kind of come to fruition with these recent news updates. Let's keep going on, though. This latest interoperability effort is expected to enhance the utility of both blockchains, talking about Cardano and Polkadot, especially with upcoming major upgrades set to transform their ecosystems. So they already have a lot going on, both Polkadot and Cardano, but this one is just like another teaming up superpower system for both projects to benefit from. Now, moving into just some Polkadot news, though, Snowbridge launched trustless Polkadot Ethereum bridge. So we just talked about bridges here before. This happened on June 20th, so it is in the past now, as today is July 1st. Snowbridge relies on first-party signatures from Polkadot and Ethereum validators, making the process transparent, permissionless, and auditable. The first version of this bridge will enable ERC20 asset transfers between the two networks, and multiple parachains and wallets are expected to integrate and support it. This bridge protocol is also expected to increase interactions and introduce new assets from Ethereum to Polkadot ecosystem. In the future, Snowbridge plans to enable arbitrary messaging and potentially launch a liquidity program. So We already are seeing Polkadot get to some work with the largest altcoin, that is Ethereum. There's more stuff coming out to continue to build bigger bridges in the rest of the crypto space with partnerships with Cardano. So stay tuned with all of this information. I want you guys to understand whether or not price goes up, and I do believe price will go up, these things that Polkadot, Cardano, that Ethereum are working on are massive, not just for your pocketbooks, because I think they will increase the price of the assets, but they're also going to be massive for the future development of blockchain technology as a whole. And if you like some of those words that we just talked about, the concept of being transparent, permissionless, being auditable, these are all types of things that currently our system of money, being the fiat currency given to us with authority from the U.S. government, we are not transparent. We don't really know what's happening there. They give themselves permission, and we have no say in it whatsoever. And then even when we go to audit the Fed and audit other government entities, they believe that's not something that should be good. It's not in the best interest of the American people. Of course, that's just a good way to cover up a lot of details that are going on over there. Getting cryptocurrency and the future blockchain up and running with these types of things, transparency, permissionless actions, and auditable transactions. This is all things that are essential for the future of the world, for freedom amongst the people. This is something that is very huge. But let's get away from the news for a second, because that's one reason to be bullish. Let's get into the actual charts and see what's happening over there. Let's start off with Polkadot, where this morning, you guys are going to see here, I have a formation drawn. I'll talk about that here in a second, but you can see this morning we are poking a little bullish candle right above that blue line of resistance. Well, what is this formation? We have, since the high here back in March, we have been setting lower highs on this space. And if you go back all the way to a dip back in January, we've been setting up lower lows. This is what we call a falling wedge formation. What you do is you take the opening of this formation, you move it over to the breakout, which it does look like we're doing right now. And this would give us a price prediction for Polkadot to get up to $12.37. That's a level we have not seen since way back during the thick of the bear market back in May of 2022. So massive, massive price movement potential here for Polkadot if that comes into play. I'm going to come back to Polkadot here in a second, do some more analysis, but let's go take a look at something very similar happening on Cardano. Same exact formation, lower highs, lower lows, but they're constricting and getting tighter. This one, again, you take the opening of the formation, you move it over to a potential breakout spot where Cardano isn't quite breaking through its line just yet, but it's getting very, very close. And this would send the price of Cardano back to 70 cents. Now, we've seen 70 cents more recently. Of course, during this bull market, we did see a brief touch of 80 cents for Cardano. But the fact still stands. That is a big, big move here. Not quite a doubling in price, but it is something that would make people a lot of money. A 76% increase in price. And it's another sign, if this happens, that Cardano and Polkadot very much are not dead. But let's talk about what is the path, maybe on a shorter term, for Polkadot and Cardano to reach these types of goals. Let's turn on Lux Algo and take a look here on the daily chart. Now, we're going to see two different things here. On Polkadot, we are seeing the price run into a little bit of resistance right here. We have ourselves this fat pink line. This is called a breaker block, an area of former support that we fell back through and then treated as resistance. These oftentimes are not necessarily saying we cannot break through it, but it is representing a heavy level of selling pressure at the moment. If I were to turn that off, we also at this level are dealing with the daily smart trail resistance. That's what this red cloud is right here. It's almost like the most important moving average at all times. At this point, it's being used as resistance. But I'm not going to be surprised to see Polkadot actually pull back at these current levels. Maybe rally a little higher today, next couple of days. But I think it's going to be really hard to get above 656 without a minor pullback. One of the reasons for that is when I look at our oscillators, where you will see a mixed bag of some things are bearish, some things are bullish. Stochastics is back up being overextended. So that's something that's going to say, hey, maybe a little cool off would be helpful. We do see the RSI wrestling with / getting above 50. So that's actually a very bullish sign. The MACD, after crossing bullish here back on the 26th of June, looks like it wants to continue. So that's looking kind of bullish. But when I come over here and I look at our Lux Algo oscillator, super power oscillator, yes, we had a great buy signal earlier this week when we had green reversal, we had positive money flow, and we had a green momentum. But you're going to notice right now, we still have strength in our oscillator, and it's not overextended, saying we're overbought at the moment, but we are seeing a red reversal and negative money flow come into the equation. I could see a reversal, nothing major. It's not going to be an overbought reversal, maybe just a minor reversal like we've seen in the past right here, and a pullback down to lower levels. Where would those levels be? Well, on the 4-hour chart, you guys will see we have a very strong bullish breaker block in play right here around $6, maybe a little bit below it, but a little bit right there on $6. I would not be surprised in the least to see Polkadot maybe rally up just a little higher. Again, it had some room on that oscillator, pull back down towards $6, maybe a little bit below, and then make its move to continue to the upside. When you zoom out and you take a look at what's happening here, I still think over the next couple of months, we're going to make a push up here to that $12.43 zone. I think that is in the cards. Just make sure you understand it takes some time. In fact, if we follow the same speed we did with this acceleration, we could have to wait until August before we actually see that price come into play. Same thing. Let's go over here and take a look at Cardano, where there's a little bit of difference, but some similarities here. The big difference is that instead of sitting on a current very strong level of resistance, Cardano could make a move all the way up to about 43, 44 cents before it runs into trouble. We have our bearish breaker block. We have our smart trail that actually is leaning a little bit higher. And then, of course, you also see a major level of support that was in play for a while. We lost it. It's not abnormal. In fact, it's actually very common to, when you have a level that served as strong support for a while, to treat it as resistance at first. Now, I think that if we were to reject around that 44-cent zone, we're probably only falling back somewhere, even like maybe even where we currently are, somewhere here around 40 cents. But as a whole, unlike Polkadot that only has a little bit further to the upside, I think that Cardano could/should make a push up to 44 cents in the short term before having rejection. You guys are going to see here, while we have some similarities like overextended stochastics, the RSI is looking good, the MACD is looking good, and our Luxago oscillator, we've most recently had green reversals, green momentum, and positive money flow. So we're still heavily under a daily buy order. Watch for 44 cents to potentially be an area of interest for a possible reversal. With that said, though, still looking at a major move potentially again in August, seeing Cardano back up closer to 70 cents. It only keeps going up from there, though. I still believe that Cardano and Polkadot will continue to climb, both of them probably seeing new highs for the bull market before the end of 2024, and then new highs as a coin as a whole before the end of 2025. But the big question here is, what do you think? I just laid out for you guys news-wise and chart-wise why I'm bullish on both these projects. Drop your comments down below. Are you in full agreement with me about these movements, or am I crazy and both of these coins are only going to the downside? Even if I disagree with you, I always love to hear your feedback. The rest of you, make sure to smash that like button on your way out and hit subscribe so you don't miss anything on the channel. We have a live show every single day at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to come back for that. Also, to all of our X followers, this is a Monday night. Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be going live with an X Spaces. You don't want to miss it. I'll see you guys there, but for the rest of the day, you guys have a great one. I'll see you in the next.